Let's introduce the new GFE Thunderstorm Climatology procedure. The procedure can be located under the Populate menu and is called FL_POP SB 2021. Looking at the GUI, the first choice the forecaster will make is whether they want the procedure to automatically choose the regime for them, that's the using GFS, or do a manual calculation, that's do not calculate. If do not calculate is chosen, then they can come over to column 2 and choose regime from 1 to 8. There's the PPI option that we will talk about in another video, yes or no. And then as we move over, we have the temporal pop. You can choose anything from 1 hour up to 12 hour. You have the option of whether or not you want to blend with the MBM. There's the days 1 through 7, pick which day you want to populate, or you can highlight a time frame just like in Forecaster. Nothing needs to be chosen in this column, but just tells you what the procedure will choose in the automated regime option choice for each day. There's also a smooth and round function if you want to use those. And if you're going to go ahead and blend the MBM with a regime, these slider bars down here will assign the weights for each one of the data sets. Let's start here with example 1 with just a simple manual choice of a regime and a 12-hour pop. So since it's manual, we're going to click do not calculate. We're going to leave regime 1. We'll leave the PPI off at this point since it's a 12-hour pop. 12 hours is selected. We're not going to blend it with the MBM, and we're going to choose day 2 in order to populate. And we're going to leave all the other options alone at this point and just go to run dismiss. And here we now have for day 2, we have the regime 1 from 0 to 12Z and 12 to 0Z populated into GFE. So we can go ahead and save that into the database. Now, for example 2, something similar, although we will change the temporal time to a 3-hour pop. Once again, we're going to click the do not calculate, choose regime 1, leave the PPI alone, choose 3-hour for our temporal. We'll keep it at day 2 and run dismiss. And you can see there's a much higher temporal resolution pop in here now for day 2. And we can go and save that as well. For our third example, we're going to do a manual choice of the regime and a 5-hour running pop, but this time we're going to highlight the time frame instead of choosing one. So do not calculate. We're going to go this time to regime 6. We'll leave the PPI off. And we're going to do 5-hour running pop and not going to blend it with the MBM, but up here we're going to go and choose the highlight time frame and move that out of the way. Just like you can do in Forecast Builder, we'll highlight a 6-hour period there that we want to populate in that our choices, run dismiss, and the hourly 5-hour running pop for regime 6 between 18Z and 0Z is now populated into GFE, and we can save that. Example 4, this is a manual choice of regime with a 3-hour pop, and now we're actually going to use the PPI conversion. So choose do not calculate and choose regime 1, and we're going to turn the PPI conversion on to yes. Come over here to a 3-hour pop, and we'll choose day 3 for this. We'll run dismiss. And we can see here now we've got the corrected. If we go all the way back to day 2, this was our original 3-hour pop. And so let's scroll through that, and you can see how that looks. And now when we get to the PPI corrected 3-hour pops, you're going to see that they are higher because they've been corrected up to the 12-hour probability. And this will all be explained in the PPI video. But this is one of the new features of the GFE Thunderstorm Climatology tool for this year, is this PPI correction. Now in example 5, this is our first automated regime choice. So we're going to let the procedure make the choice for us. And we do that by choosing using GFS. And we'll turn the PPI on here. We're going to use the 3-hour again. And we'll come over here and choose our date. This is going to be day 4. And if we go to the next column over, it shows us that day 4, according to the latest GFS, is a regime 6 day. So that's the type of data we should expect to see populated in. Run the tool, and there on day 4, we have the 3-hour PPI corrected regime 6 climatological pop. And we'll go up and save that. Now let's look at an example where we actually blend the CLIMO regime with the MBM using the 12-hour temporal pops. So we'll go to do not calculate, so this will be manual, and we'll do regime 1 and a 12-hour pop. Since we're going to blend, we're going to come up here and click the MBM on. We'll do day 3 and come down here to the weights, and we'll give the MBM a 1. So we now have a 1-to-1 combination. And there are the 12-hour pops. For regime 1, you can see they've been brought down by the fact that the MBM is a very low pop in this situation. So we'll come and do the GUI again. And we're going to do exactly the same thing we did before. Again, includes the MBM day 3, but now we're going to give the MBM a weight of 2. And you'll see that the climatological pop is reduced even further in this situation now. So we'll go ahead and save that and move on. Now for sense of completeness, we'll do the same thing as we did in the last example, but with a 6-hour and a PPI correction. So do not calculate. Regime 1, we'll turn the PPI on, and we'll go to 6-hour, turn the MBM on, again day 3, and make a 1-to-1 correction. So there we have our 4 6-hour periods that make up a 24-hour day with the PPI corrected CLIMO pop blended with the 6-hour MBM forecast. Save that, and we're good. Here we're going to show you what happens if the GFS fails to arrive in AWIPS or the automation script that goes along with the GFE procedure fails. So if we do not have the data in to GFE, you can see here where it normally tells you what each day's regime is based on the GFS, it just says old data. So if you ever go in there and see that it says old data, well, you know you're going to have to go to the do not calculate and just choose a manual regime that day. There are many combinations that a forecaster may utilize with this procedure, far too many for this video. So it's encouraged for forecasters to bring up this procedure in practice mode and just try different things out until you feel comfortable with how it works. And at that point, you'll be ready to take it to operations.